Several parliamentarians of the Samagi Balawega attended a media briefing today and expressed their views on this matter.
සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මහත්මයාගේ ලබන 21 වෙනිදා ජයග්‍රහණය ඉවසන්න බැරි මේ රටේ ත්‍රස්තවාදයට පුරුදු කල්ලි මේ රටේ ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදයට අද විශාල බලපෑමක් කරලා තියෙනවා. ඊයේ වන විට මේ රටේ පහරදීම්
Unable to accept Sajid Premadasa's victory on the 21st, gangs notorious for terrorism in the country have severely undermined its democracy. As of yesterday, a series of terrorist acts have begun. Thugs associated with the JVP and NPP reportedly attacked and chased away attendees of the Patriotic National Front's meeting at the National Library. These JVP groups have disrupted independent student movements at the University of Sri Jayawardenepura and the Peratugami and beaten them until they bled. In another incident, a person was injured after being struck with a helmet for refusing to vote. Some of our party offices in the Hiriyala, Dambulla and Avisaville electorates were set on fire by these groups. It seems that those who once tried to seize power through armed forces, destroying the democratic rights of this nation, are now reviving terrorism in response to their impending defeat.
ආයුධ බලයෙන් මේ රටේ ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදී අයිතිය නැති කළා ආයුධ බලයෙන් බලය ගන්න දෙසරයක් උත්සාහ දරපු පිරිසු අද මම හිතන්නේ පරාජය දැකලා වියරු ඇట్లా නැවත මේ ත්‍රස්තවාදී වපුරන්න යනවා
යම් යම් මතභේදාත්මක කරුණු තියෙන්න පුළුවන් තරුණ කට්ටිය අතරේ හැමෝම හැම දෙයකම එකඟ වෙන්නේ නැහැ නමුත් ප්‍රචණ්ඩත්වය භාවිත
There may be some controversial points as not all members of the youth agree on everything. However, in our developing country, violence should never be an option. We must engage in discussions and respectfully exchange our views instead. We are receiving reports that this unrest may spread beyond Jayawardenepura University to other universities as well. The issue here is expressing such opinions is being suppressed here. We saw the incident at the event of JVP Tri-Army Force. He is even threatening the generals. We have to understand that this is not a dictatorial country. We are a democratic country. If someone attempts to destroy democracy or resorts to violence to do so, we do not want violence. We stand by the power of the ballot. Let's safeguard democracy through the polls. We will not succumb to violence, nor will we resort to it.
ඕනේ කතිරේ අපි කතිරෙන් ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදය බේරගමු. ප්‍රචණ්ඩත්වයට යට වෙන්න අපි සූදානම් නැහැ. නමුත් අපි ප්‍රචණ්ඩත්වය පාවිච්චි කරන්නේත් නැහැ.
The Samagi Buddhi Mandapaya convened a media briefing today and shared views on this.
Regarding the unrest at the university grounds, both the Janata Vimukti Peramana operating under the name National People's Power and the National People's Power operating under the name Janata Vimukti Peramana should immediately instruct their members to halt this violent agenda. Do the members of the Central Committee, including Andru Kumara Disanayaka, possess the leadership and integrity to take such decisive action?
අභිමානය සහ මුලින්ම විනාශ වෙන බව අපි වගකීමකින් කියන්නට ලෑස්ති. තරුණේනි දේශේ තරුණේනි අවදි වෙයව් කියන පණිවිඩය අපි දෙනවා.
මුළු සමාජයේම හිතුවා ජනතා විමුක්ති පෙරමුණ යම්කිසි
The entire society had hoped that the Janata Vimukti Peramana was making a genuine transformation. Initially it seemed as though they had indeed changed. However, their true nature is now becoming evident. Recently, it is clear that these JVP student groups are stifling any attempts by students to express their opinions independently and openly. As a result, the damage to this country is graduates emerging from these institutions are essentially becoming slaves. Because of this, universities are not producing individuals who can think freely and independently.
වෙන උපාධිධාරියා එළියට එන උපාධිධාරියා ඇත්තටම වහලෙක් හැටියට තමයි එන්නේ මොකද ස්වාධීනව හිතන්න පුළුවන් ස්වාධීන චින්තනයක් තියෙන පුද්ගලයෙක් නෙමෙයි විශ්වවිද්‍යාල වලින් බිහි වෙන්නේ.
Dr. Nalinda Jayatessa, National Executive Member of the National People's Power, responded to the allegations at the media briefing held today.
මේ අය තමන්ගේ එක තුරුම්පක් හැරට පාවිච්චි කරන්න නියමිත
They are trying to use their platform to push their own agendas. They're creating fake incidents of violence before the election and blaming us. They've edited recordings of people associated with us, cutting off and adding words to make it seem like we are involved in violence. We've taken legal action against this and won't allow it to continue. They're also using events like the National Library incident and student conflicts at the University of Sri Jayawardenepura to frame us. But we have no connection to these incidents. We believe this is a ploy by opposing groups, especially those linked to Sajid Premadasa. These are poorly planned attempts to mislead the public. We expect more of these incidents in the coming days. We've also heard reports of people getting hurt in accidents and having their voices manipulated. They are accusing us of attacking them because they refused to vote for the Malimawa. We made our stance on religion clear and affirmed that we support constitutional principles. The attempts to distort public opinion using violence and religion are dishonest and have been rejected by the people.
දේශපාලන මතය මහජන මතය විකෘති කරන හදන එකත් ඉතාම පහත් සහායක ජනතාව ප්‍රතික්ෂේප කරපු එකක්.
National People's Power MP Dr. Harini Amarasuriya expressed these views at a public rally.
Followers of Ranil Wickremesinghe claim that the country will fall apart after the 22nd of September. They have been building the country for so long, so if it collapses within 24 hours after it was built, what was the purpose of this construction? Is everything dependent on one leader? What has he been doing for so long? On the other hand, the Samagijana Balavege is trying to instill fear by suggesting that there will be unrest and economic collapse after the 21st of September. What has happened for so long? Can our economic collapse further? Can violence increase further? They're acting with a fear that the Malimawa will change things and expose their incompetence. There are more rumors circulating that riots will occur after the Malimawa wins. We represent a political approach that is not based on revenge. The political group that will lose on the 21st of September is the one that practices revenge politics. We are all striving to end that political culture. When Nandra Dissanayake becomes the 9th executive president of this country on the 22nd of September, he will take an oath as the president of all citizens. We represent a new political culture, a civilized political culture that does not involve making others our enemies and trying to destroy them.
ශිෂ්ට සම්පන්න දේශපාලන සංස්කෘතිය අනේකාව අපේ හතුරා කරගෙන ඔහු විනාශ කරන්න කරන දේශපාලනයක් නෙවෙයි.
Anurakumara Dissanayake, the presidential candidate from the National People's Power, emphasized today in Monragala that there should be no room for violence.
ඉස්සරලම් පටන් ගත්තේ 100%නේ දිනන්න තියා හිතන්නවත් බෑ.
Initially, our supporters were a mere 3%, making victory seem almost impossible. Then the campaign began, and after about 2 weeks, the opposition started claiming that our success would lead to turmoil and violence. Recently, they've even said that if we win, we won't last 6 months. This skepticism is nothing new. It all began with the belief that we had no chance of winning. But now as the polls start to come in, they predict that if we succeed, we won't survive for 6 months. How engaged and concerned is the public about this situation? How much effort, determination and sacrifice have we invested to secure this victory? We are committed to achieving change, and we won't be deteriorated in just 6 months. We continue to face doubts and potential attempts to create small-scale conflicts. Therefore, we urge the high-ranking officers of the police to ensure peace and prevent any disruptions, fulfilling their duties responsibility. We also ask our supporters to refrain from any form of violence or abusive language. We need to uphold democratic values and respect everyone's right to support their preferred candidate or party. Once the election is over, we will form the government and begin by dissolving parliament. Ranil will be sent home following the presidential election, and Shashindra will be sent home after the general election. Over 150 current MPs will be removed in the next general election. Look at the current MPs, some bringing chili powder, others bringing knives. The speaker has even questioned who brought the mangoes. Is this what parliament has become? On the 22nd, we will dissolve parliament and send them home.
දැන් කියලා තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට ජනාධිපති ඡන්දේ රනිල් ගෙදර, පාර්ලිමේන්තු ඡන්දේ සසේන්ද්‍ර ගෙදර. ඔය පාර්ලිමේන්තු ඉන්නේ 150කට වඩා වැඩි ප්‍රමාණයක් ඊළඟ පාර්ලිමේන්තු මැතිවරණදී ගෙදර. නැද්ද? ඉන්න කට්ටිය ගත්තාම එක දවසක් එක්කෙනෙක් මිරිස් කුඩු ගෙනල්ලා, තව කෙනෙක් පිහියක් ගෙනල්ලා. කතානායකතුමා අහලා තියෙන අඹ ගෙනාවේ කවුද කියලා. ඇයි ඉතන අඹ කන්ද කියලා. දැන් හිතන්න මේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුද මේවා. 22 වෙනිදා වෙනකොට අපි පාර්ලිමේන්තු ඉසුරුව හැරලා දෙන්නම්. ඡන්ද දිනේ දවසේ ඕගොල්ලෝ ඒගොල්ලෝ ගෙදර යවන්න.